Hello and welcome to this week's episode of So Fired. I'm Chelsea Toronto.
I'm Dr. Lindsay Regier.
And welcome. Each week on So Fired, we take life's shitty things and turn them into pretty things.
And we share all of our issues. And this week, we're talking about Drew's Dissonance.
That's a mouthful of alliteration if I haven't ever. Okay. But before we get to that, Lindsay, what's your So Fired of the week?
Okay, well,
here we go.
I know.
Lay it on me, girl.
Really had to dig deep because I'm trying so hard to not be a chiropractor. I am looking for any outlet, anything at all. I thought I had something. No. Thought I had something else this week. And they tell me what they're going to pay me. And I'm like, you think I work for minimum wage, bitch? Like,
gotta work, bitch.
Oh, work,
Brittany.
bitch. Oh my gosh. I was like, oh, I'd be so amazing at it. But I do not work for anything less than what I'm making right now. So
Standards.
I was so bummed because I was like, yes, it's my out. And then I realized it wasn't. And I was just spinning out of control of like, when will I end being a chiropractor? Like, when? Like, someone please tell me. So I got all bummed, but you know what? This job that I have, owning my practice, it's totally fine. I like it. It's very chill. My other job that I work part-time, it's honestly like the world's easiest job in the entire world. So I was thinking, you know what? I do like being a chiropractor because most of the time I sit there at my other job and I get paid to do literally nothing. I'm watching Us on YouTube.
Not the show Us, but you mean it's So
Fired. Yeah. I'm doing our editing. I'm reading a book. I'm listening to shows. So you know what? I was like, why am I trying so hard? Because I actually have it pretty good. And I'm going to use all my brain power that instead of looking for another job, it's just focused into podcasting. So
that's a great.
I spun myself out.
Well,
and I spun right back into So Fired.
Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
And you stay a chiropractor until you're a professional podcaster.
I know.
Oh,
that seems like that's the plan.
You know what, though? That was my So Fired. I'm the one that gave you that pep talk, by the way.
I know. And I'm like,
it's like, hey, by the way, I'm going to use this week. And you're like, and you just stole it from me. Because I told Lindsay, I'm like, wait a minute, you get to sit there and watch YouTube and do all of our So Fired media. I was like, and we talk 18 times a day. I was like, how in what world is this a bad thing? And you're like, well, yes. I was like, at one of the locations, you literally have a Target and an Ulta. I'm sorry. And there's a Starbucks. I'm not crying just yet.
So. I know. I was like, oh, yeah, you're right.
Well, that's what friends are for.
I guess I was So Fired 2.
Please.
I just had a birthday and I'm not thrilled about the birthday, but everyone remembered that it's my birthday. So there we go.
I didn't. I mean, I did.
You remembered.
I remember
You're the first
the day
one to tell me
before.
happy birthday.
I'm really excited that you're 33. It's
Me
such
too.
a cute number. Oh
It's
my
so
God.
cute.
You're so little still. Okay. I was So Fired.
Okay.
I am frequently misunderstood.
Mm.
I feel like oftentimes female workers, coworkers, like get mad at me for whatever. I don't even know why they're mad.
Your face did something that you couldn't control.
Likely.
Mm-hmm.
Or I said something or my actions were misinterpreted. I feel like with the situation with my roommate, like I misinterpreted as to like, maybe not misinterpreted, but like somehow just not appreciated and or loved. And then like or loved at all. Or like my mom, and I sent her a picture of us that night after we did stage makeup or like Friday night makeup. She's like, it ages you. But if that's the look you're going for. Anyway, the So Fired is I actually don't care about anybody. I'm not gonna care about anybody because unless you prove to me that I can trust you, that you won't hurt me, everyone just doesn't get me.
No.
Like, what the fuck am I doing wrong?
Nothing.
I'm like one of the gals that's mad at me at work, I gave her like a phone. I bought her a phone case like last week, the week prior.
Oh. And she still is not having it?
Chelsea. I was like, look, I would apologize. I don't even know why you're mad.
I mean, that's just when it goes back to, I don't know what's going on in your life,
I
but
know.
please don't take it out on me.
Yes. So I guess my so fired is I'm not taking it personally because it seems like my entire universe has something going on.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna. Just gonna be like, that's a Lindsay look. Like, I don't care. I didn't even notice you're upset. All right.
Yeah.
Do you have any issues?
I do have an issue.
What's it? What's it?
So
What is it?
my issue is that I haven't been okay. My issue is how do you clean your ears without using a Q-tip? Because I am going deaf in one ear because
Oh,
it's
man.
so dirty because I haven't used a Q-tip in like 2 years almost. Ever since I went to Costa Rica and I got karate chopped in the throat and damaged my vocal cords and my ear canal, and I went to the ear doctor and they're like, "Don't ever put a Q-tip in your
I think
ear
it's time to use
ever
a
again."
Q-tip.
But now I'm afraid because now I'm like, "Well, is it gonna end up doing the same
Well, don't
thing?"
jam it in there.
Well, that's what I'm afraid of doing.
Oh, I have those earwax candle things.
I've tried that. No.
You can, before you get out of the shower, you can use like a warm washcloth and like, ugh. Well, how else are you doing it?
I'm not, I guess. I guess maybe, yeah, like a disposable towel.
Okay, well,
Get in
whatever
there.
the like cloth is,
Yeah.
you like warm and just like wipe it
Just like
out.
get in there.
You're not like going deep into the canal. You're doing more of like this part.
Yeah, but I now want like the whole thing to be like suctioned out or something.
Yeah, that'd be amazing.
I mean, is that how you do it? Like, is there a suction cup thing or like, is there something to do at home that's
Yeah.
even like more intense than a wet towel?
Yeah, a Q-tip.
Ugh. But like, but I don't want to do a Q-tip.
This is a very good TikTok search.
Yeah, because
If you had told me that I should look this up before we got on air, I would have had you had an answer.
I mean, I could just go back to the ear doctor and he can do it
Oh
for
my God,
me.
can I come? That'd be amazing.
It's honestly, it's so satisfying when there's nothing in your ears. Everything is very loud. The breeze is blowing through. It kind of hurts for 2 seconds, but
I want to go.
yeah,
Let's go.
it feels so good. But then the other issue is like, well, great. Now I have to make an appointment to go to the doctor and get my ears cleaned. You know
Oh,
how
I
I
don't
feel about
care.
going
That'd
to
be
the
amazing.
doctor.
I'm kind of obsessed with
With
cleaning my dog's ears
oh yeah, you are.
in a really kind of bad way.
Well, you pulled a big chunk of something out of Sunny's ear.
Super grody. I don't think you guys want to hear about this. I just feel like she never had her ears cleaned and she would never let me. And the one day this is not a great thing that I would admit to. It's like having those obsessions with like popping.
Oh, popping pimples?
Yeah,
I
you
don't know.
don't
People
want
like that stuff.
what?
People like that stuff.
Oh, I love it. I love ear extractions. Like I don't love like an insect coming out.
Ew.
I'm just gonna leave it at that. If we're gonna go, I don't want to do this to everybody. So if you do go, I want to go.
Okay.
Oh my God, that'd be amazing.
Okay. Well, and then I have to, make the appointment actually.
Wah, wah, wah.
I know.
That's another issue.
I know. I'm like, I hate going to the doctor. I hate making appointments. That's the issue.
Okay.
Mhm. So if I can't hear you one day, that is why.
I don't believe it. I will text you and I'll call you back. Okay, I have an issue.
Okay.
It's called sexual harassment.
Oh.
I know it's been an issue before. I guess it's the service industry or it's something about me. I feel like my other coworkers are not getting sexually harassed to the level in which I am.
I think it's the industry.
Do you think like
And
Julia's getting sexually harassed like
yeah,
I do?
probably. But is she interacting with all these people as much as you are?
No.
Yeah, exactly.
Even if
So-
she was, I don't think they'd be saying what they say to her. For
Yeah.
example, if anyone's like, "Whoa, what did they say, Chelsea?" There was this 80-year-old man who was really rude on the phone. His name was Larry. And it goes something like, "I want a pizza and a salad." And I was like, "Okay, Larry, they'll be ready in 25 minutes." "Can't it be ready sooner?" "Larry, it'll be ready as soon as it comes out of the oven. How about that?" So Larry comes in, he sits down. He's like, "I'm going to have a drink. And you know what? I'll take that salad and I'll eat it here. And then I'll take the pizza to go. Just as planned." "Okay, sir.
Done.
Here you go. Let me get you some silverware. Here's that salad." "Thank you, sir. Anything else?" "You can knock off the sir, unless you want to call me Sir Larry of Erotica." Ew. He's like 80. And then like that same night, there was another dude who like sweaty palmed me cash. Like over the course of the night, it was like $400. But oh, thanks. My male coworker, my my bestie, he was like,
Mhm.
"I'd be sexually harassed." I was like, "But he leers, and every time you walk by, he's just like, ugh." And so you're like, okay. And then there was another dude, and I was just like, I just want to do my job.
What's the price? What's the tip they have to give you to be like, well, it's not that bad?
Oh, it wasn't that bad that night. I mean, it was like 500 that night and like $100 later in the week. It's just like it just makes me feel kind of maybe like a stripper.
Yeah, I understand.
Like, get your lunchbox out,
Mhm.
scrape up all the dollars. Now, I'm grateful, but then the ugly side is like, now what if other females are getting tipped at work? And then it becomes very catty. And then we're all
Oh.
pimping out the dudes for the cash because word gets out.
Oh.
That's a fear.
So
If it wasn't already catty at work to begin with,
Mm.
which it's not, we have a very lovely work environment. But if word gets out that Miguel tips, he like folds them into
tips $100 just to be a little creepy.
yeah. And then they hear that, then they're all gonna be like hanging off him like Big Daddy, like at the strip club.
Ugh,
That's a
So
potential problem.
that is a potential problem. I mean, obviously, nothing is good in this situation, and you just want to be able to do your job without having some man comment all the
And the
time.
irony is, I'm literally working for the tips that I get. It's just, I know it's a fine line.
I know, it's like, why can't they tip you based on your charismatic personality
are.
and like a good time,
$600.
but like minus the creepiness?
Maybe it's the creepiness. But yeah, I think you have to take
I
it's
wonder.
a struggle. Oh, you know what it reminds me? We're going to talk about this a little bit more later in Drew's Dissonance.
Yes. Okay.
So we'll circle back and maybe we can resolve my issue like we did last week.
Yeah, we did.
Okay. So before we get to this week's topic of Drew's Dissonance, how about a little pop culture?
Boop, 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 boop. Pop culture time.
Last week, I kicked your ass in fantasy football.
Yeah, you did.
But you know
Okay,
who-
by like 6 points.
Okay, well, whatever. It's still a loss for you.
It is.
Okay, but you know who also lost?
Who?
Is Kansas City. But
Oh,
they
wild,
lost.
crazy.
But
Wild
you know
game.
who didn't lose on the Kansas City Chiefs?
Who?
Kelsey.
Travis Kelce.
Yes.
Oh my god, he's so hot.
Oh, he's very handsome.
He's very handsome. Even with his stupid mustache he has right now,
Oh,
I can deal with that.
Yeah, you know who else can deal with it?
Who?
Taylor Swift.
That's what I've heard.
Quiet hanging out.
I know. I'm like, what does that mean? Does that mean that you just choose not to be seen in public, or are you just like talking? Are you hanging? Are
Those
you
things. All those things.
FaceTiming? How many times have you hung out? I want to know.
Well, there's a lot of conspiracy theories on like what's going to happen there. That T Swift is like infiltrating Kansas City just so that the Eagles can win. You know, it was a deep, deep dive when I was like, "Oh, all the way to the Super Bowl, huh?"
Oh,
Because she's
my
gonna
God.
be she's gonna be the surprise halftime. It's a whole thing. If you want to know,
She's the surprise halftime performer.
right?
Oh my gosh. You know, I'm not a big T Swift fan, but I
No.
do have to give it to her that she's brought so much money to all the cities that she's had a show in, like $1 billion total or more. I don't know. It's a lot of money.
A lot of money.
It's a lot of money. So, you know, I wouldn't put it past her to rig the Super Bowl on accident.
Okay. Well, I don't want to necessarily. I don't think she would do that because she's not malicious in any way. But you know how Taylor Swift is also saving the universe
How?
through. Well, she's saving it in the movie industry as well.
Oh, yeah.
You know how?
She's releasing her Eras Tour
Movie.
And
why is that a particularly special thing right now?
because there's a writer's strike.
That's right.
There's nothing being made
That's right.
unless it's reality.
Lindsay just wants to plug reality shit. Unless it's a reality TV show like Love Actually, which is in its third series.
Love is Blind.
Love is Blind.
The Ultimatum.
That's that. Us.
Perfect Match.
So Fired.
Us. So Fired. Yep. We ain't going anywhere.
Oh no, we're doubling
Mm-mm.
down. You're getting more than you.
You're gonna see us all over your TV screens because they have no one else available.
They're gonna pay to keep us on. Okay. So yes, the Screen Actors Guild Award, if you want a little bit of information, it's 135 days. And what they are asking for is fair wages and residuals.
Mhm.
So, oh, why? Da, da, da. Because, when shit's streaming, there's no way of controlling the money meter. Just clicking
Right.
along, right?
Mhm.
And every time, and they should be getting a little bit because they literally created what you're watching. And I'm down with that. I didn't realize that writers get like, if you're writing for Stranger Things,
Mhm.
but then there's a 2-year hiatus, you are still owned by Stranger Things and you have a non-compete and you can't write for another show.
Oh,
So
wow.
you're sitting on your ass, not able to make an income, earn a living for 2 years.
Oh, I also saw that typically before streaming services,
Mm.
writers were working for a show for an average of 40 weeks a year.
Right.
And then you live off residuals until it amps back up again.
Right.
Now it's 5 weeks,
Right.
6 weeks, and now you're not getting any residuals. So how are you supposed to live?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right. And so now you have, in solidarity, you have the screen actors striking along with the writers. So it's the first time in 63 years that you've got both the writers and the actors striking. So when they struck back in 1960, that is when they got health benefits and fair minimum wages.
Mhm.
So it was effective then. So we're holding out for them. But you know who's not holding out for them?
Drew Barrymore.
What the F, Drew?
Like,
So that
ugh.
brings us to today's topic of Drew's dissonance.
Like, how is she justifying being back on TV when she needs writers and she is an actor and she knows everything that's happening, yet she is justifying her actions because I don't really know what her justification is.
That her show is bigger than just her and that she's doing a lot of good. And by going back to work, she's employing a lot of people and putting them back into work.
Do you struggle with bloating, anxiety, constipation, fatigue, skin issues, or other nagging symptoms but don't know where to start or what to take to truly fix it? If this sounds like you, we have the perfect company that you need to meet. Gut Personal is a personalized functional medicine supplement and coaching company that gets to the root of your gut issues. Unlike generic supplements, Gut Personal developed a quick 2-minute quiz. You know, we love a quiz, where you'll receive personalized supplement recommendations from expert functional medicine dietitians. This way, you know exactly what supplements your body needs to get relief. I personally use the booster and the prebiotic for better digestion, and I know when I take it consistently, even my skin looks a lot better. So, if you're tired with dealing with painful digestive issues or mood swings, PMS, go over to gutpersonal.com, take their quiz, and then you can get your custom supplement regimen today. So visit gutpersonal.com and use code SOFIRED10 to get a 10% discount on your first order.
So what we're describing is dissonance, otherwise known as cognitive dissonance, right? This is how you explain when you're doing fucked up shit.
Yeah. This is how I explain away eating ice cream last night, knowing full well I'm going to feel so sick later. But I'm like, but I like it.
This is how I continue to live in a really shitty relationship, even though I'm getting all my bills paid and it's not that bad. Do another one.
Okay. This is how this is how I tell myself being a chiropractor is not that bad. Like, it's totally fine. You know, you get paid money, even though, like, in my heart and soul, I really am a podcaster at heart.
This is how I shake my ass for free on Instagram because my parents didn't love me enough and I was begging for attention my whole life.
This is how I justify being an overachiever because I just learned a perfect amount of trauma in my life. And now I can justify, like, it was trauma. That's why I am the way I am.
This is how I justify drinking a Celsius in the morning because it helps me get my day started like I'm going to be productive, even though I cringe at the sound of hearing cans crack open because it reminds me of somebody drinking a beer early in the morning.
Yeah. Oh, this is also how I justify having a second coffee later in the day because I'm like, well, I need a pick me up because I'm working. Like, that's what I think I've need a reward every time I work.
Oh, yeah. This is why I bought those Puma shoes, even though I've got some debt I should be paying off. And I'm like, but I threw those other ones away. And I was trying to be sustainable, but I really like them. And they were like the best shoe in my whole wardrobe.
That's all I got.
Oh, is that all you got? Well,
Yeah.
that's all I can think of right off the top of
I
my
know.
head. So it's really hard talking with handcuffs on. Okay, so how does our queen Taylor Swift circumvent this? Okay, so one of the rules, or one of the caveat, or I don't know, one of the rules of the strike is that you can't promote. You can't have a trailer. You can't promote on Instagram. Selena.
What's up with what's Selena doing wrong?
Selena promoted one of her upcoming shows, and you can't do that. And I don't think she knew the
Oh.
rules because she promptly had to take it down.
Oh.
You can't say coming soon, da 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 da, right? So you can't do that. So that's one of the rules. Okay, so how does Taylor Swift amidst the writer's strike release a movie here in October 2023? I will tell you. She made a deal directly with the movie theater, so she skipped over the media plus. Plus, she went to the guild and said, hey, she's exempt because she's not having writers. It's a documentary. And then she complied with all of the requests met.
Oh.
So she was on the up and up, totally front facing, and like full disclosure was like, hey, like, am I good? And so she was given the A-OK to do it.
Well, the funny thing is that she doesn't even have to promote it because the movie theaters just announced, okay, this is coming to theaters on whatever day. That's all it took. It's Taylor Swift. Like people already like sold out so many shows even before the release date. So she is a very unique case.
Right.
I think where she doesn't even have to promote. Someone could just say something and people are like, okay, I'll buy it.
But that's a good point. But but because she was granted the green light, normally she wouldn't have been able to promote.
Right.
Right. And yes, they would be just hanging off and like even looking for the slightest clue that maybe there was a movie. But to your original point on Taylor, like saving the world, she's also saving the movie industry because there's no movies that are allowed to come out at this time.
That is wild.
Wild.
So wait, could the movie come out if they don't promote it?
Well,
or is it like you can't have any movies coming out now because we don't know how everyone's going to get paid on the back
come out
end.
or not? But I know that you can't promote it. But like what?
Because because it's also confusing because I think Barbie is out on streaming right now or on demand or whatever. So
did it release before? I don't really know exactly. Now
well,
you're getting me
it got released right before the strike.
Okay, then maybe.
But now it's going on streaming services now. So I'm not really sure how that works.
I don't either. I wasn't prepared for that question.
Because there's also and the only other show that is still on TV is The View.
Oh, because they are like freeballing.
Yeah. Comedians can freeball it.
Yeah. So here's how, so Drew Barrymore believes that she's exempt because they're like a news show. So news shows, like you said, what are we? Like podcasting. What are the other ones?
Podcasting, reality TV, comedy specials.
Okay. They're exempt. Because like Good Morning America appears to be like in a talk show format.
Yes.
It's okay.
That's okay.
But Drew, flip side, tries to give off the appearance of being a news source, but she's reading from the written word that someone has written for her. You are not exempt.
Oh, okay. Oh, she's trying to pivot and say she's a news source versus an entertainment.
Just because you sit behind a desk, bitch. So
there's a desk in front of us.
I know we're
newscasters
live. So here's how you know the 75th book award.
Yeah,
they were like, not going to touch that.
Nope. They dropped Drew
and Matthew McConaughey. Not going to come on.
No,
I was like, okay, so those two.
I know.
If they're not coming on, you're not in the right, Drew.
No, I think also, yeah, because like, same with like Live with Kelly and Mark. Yeah, they can't have any actors on to promote anything.
Right.
If you're an actor going on a show, you can't promote anything. You just got to be there shooting the shit and be like, yeah, I had a great time in the Hamptons last weekend. So people, we're hard up for some content. That's what it all comes down to.
All it comes back to is So Fired.
Gracing your TV screens shortly.
Wherever you get your podcasts and or YouTube.
We are a news source.
For nonsense.
Nonsense like conspiracy theories.
Oh, nice
oh my
one.
God. Because I spiraled in my So Fired spiraling. I was also spiraling down TikTok today. I went deep.
Where'd you go?
Well, there's always a Britney Spears conspiracy theory.
God, I love any conspiracy theory that has to do with Britney. I don't know why.
It's just like, I don't know what to believe, what is happening over there, because
Over where?
over in her house,
Definitely.
over on her stripper pole where she's like doing her dances, because she got control of herself. But
she got control of herself.
Yeah,
she got control back.
Control back. But like, she's not in control. I don't know who's like doing the puppet string still.
Conservatorship.
Yeah, no conservatorship.
She got control of herself.
Because she's like, now I'm gonna get married. Why not?
Oh yeah,
because I can. She probably pulled her IUD out just like you did too.
What? Why'd you say that?
Because she wanted to have babies and she had an IUD put in and she like wanted to take it out. Yeah. She wanted to get married. She wanted to have kids.
She loves marriage. She loves
love. Mm-hmm.
Cute. So she got married. He's kind of hot. His name's Sam.
Yeah. Well, now they're divorced.
It didn't last very long.
No, not even a year. So
not even like she got married in May. No,
I think it was right after a year or right before a year she got divorced.
Okay, so the conspiracy theory is
that she actually didn't know that she was getting married at her own wedding.
I don't think she knew she was getting married.
I think that she knew she was getting married, but people are saying that everyone was photoshopped in at the wedding and all the guests that were at the wedding weren't actually at the wedding. They were just getting footage and photos from previous events.
Oh.
And that no one was actually there to witness anything. And that I think the conspiracy is that her husband forced her to get married because now that she was in control of herself, he was like, well, now I'm going to be in control of you. And I like marry her for money, essentially.
How much money does she have?
I don't know. I can't imagine. I mean, I'm sure she has a lot of money, but I would imagine that she doesn't have that much because of all of the legal fees to pay, all the money that was taken from her.
Yeah. I mean, I think she's got more than us.
Yeah. I think that's a fair assessment. I'd be shocked. So, I mean,
who went to the wedding?
Paris Hilton.
Or supposedly.
Supposedly Paris Hilton, Madonna, Selena Gomez, Versace lady. Donatella. Drew Barrymore.
Oh,
it circles
Look
back
at
to
that.
Drew Barrymore.
Drew Barrymore and Selena.
Mm-hmm. Selena is odd. I don't know how they would know each other, but everyone else I know how they would know each other. But
Hollywood, they seem to know each other.
I guess. I don't know.
So the conspiracy is that they weren't really in attendance.
Correct.
Not that she didn't get married.
But I don't know, maybe it's cognitive dissonance. I'm choosing to believe that in my mind, why would someone lie about that? I can't even like compute that someone would do a fake wedding and fake wedding guests. Like that's just not even registering for me.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's not that far off. Does it increase her views and like I don't know.
She doesn't even care.
It's not about that, but does the Britney house, if you will, the house of Britney make money if you think she got married?
I don't think so. I don't know what they'd be making money off of. I guess selling photos of the wedding. That'd be it. Otherwise, there's not really money to be made. But there's not really House of Britney anymore because she's supposed to be in charge?
Well, if you go, you can see all of these celebs making the rounds on late nights, like Chelsea Handler or Jimmy Fallon, when they ask questions to those ladies, like, "Hey, what was the food like, and who got the drunkest?" And they kind of squirmed, and they weren't really able to like answer the question with authority.
Okay, but also I've
a
been
little-
to plenty of weddings. If you would ask me details, I'd be like, I don't know.
Come on now.
Because like when you're in the moment, are you really paying attention
How
to
was dinner?
everything?
What did they serve?
I'd be like,
You would have
I would
known.
be like, I don't know, chicken or something.
Baloney.
For real.
No.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
You remember what you ate at the Bruno's Mars like fast conference?
Not really. I remember it was like 10,000 courses.
I have a hard time believing that you wouldn't remember what you
I-
ate
I
at
rem-
Britney Spears' wedding.
There was a salad.
Okay, you would remember who's the drunkest.
Possibly. Unless Paris, when answering that question, was the drunkest.
She's like, I don't know.
I don't
just
know,
like
it was me."
dancing and singing. What were you singing? Songs. Okay.
But also maybe they signed an NDA and they couldn't say anything about it.
In which case they say, I'm sorry. I'm not at liberty to disclose that. Yay.
Yeah, but that's not as fun of an answer. Yeah. It's more pressed to be like,
Tinkerbell.
I don't know.
I don't know. Remember Tinkerbell?
I do. We had our cute little pup.
Yeah, that was like 2003 when I manifested, I want to have little dogs. Right?
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't know you then.
No, but that was like the little dog era, the beginning
Oh.
of the little dog era.
Oh, but you didn't have little dogs until like 8 years ago.
That's right.
Yeah.
But still, I wanted to be like a penthouse princess with 2 little dogs that just followed me around.
And here she is.
And here I am.
And done.
I should have manifested something better.
What else? Anything else about dissonance?
Well, I don't know. To look at all these things. I don't know. I guess my dissonance is like, do I feel at times like I'm compromising my values when I do those things I do on Instagram?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I do. I like struggle with it? Yeah. But I came to you and said, what should I do? And you're like, you should just lean into it and do it. Like, why not? And there's a part of me that's like, I'm being accepted by 19,853 people. If we could just get to goddamn 20. And I'm like, they accept me and they support me more than my own family does. Like my 3 innermost people don't. So it makes sense to take it to the streets and shake your money maker for
That's right.
likes.
That's right.
Reviews.
I also was reading about if you want to not have the dissonance.
Oh yeah, what do you do to get rid of it?
Can you grab my phone for me?
Mm-hmm.
Actually, wait. I got it. I just need my foot.
Like, hold that thought, please.
Okay. So in order to not have so much cognitive dissonance in your life, you basically have to debate and constantly analyze all the information that you're receiving in to see if you are compromising your values for that. And they also say meditation is a good thing to do because obviously it all comes back to like meditation and being able to open up your mind and take in what you just experienced and to decide like, yeah, am I going against what my values are?
Like, do I
or is
really
this legit?
believe that I'm going against my values?
Yeah.
That I have been previously programmed?
Mm-hmm.
Is that right?
Yep. So, because it's a lot of constantly analyzing.
And like a check-in?
Mm-hmm.
Like, so that's the dog's barking. So, like, for example, I do find myself, I'm like, does this really, like, do I feel ick when I wrap myself up in saran wrap and put it on Instagram?
And post it on Instagram?
Not that one, but I do
Oh.
have a problem when I turn 90 degrees so you can see the side half of my backside.
And I find that to be so
I
funny.
know.
I was like, what? I didn't even notice that you rotated and that you could see your backside. Like,
I had
that
pants
did
on.
not even compute in my head.
I literally have the same outfit on.
Yeah.
Wild.
Also, I find this interesting is that what we decide the information that we want to choose to believe and choose to remember and choose to live by, it's all formed during your puberty years, which is from age 13 to 25. So that's a pretty long span to make your world views. And I mean, 25, like, you're making life choices by the time you're 18 or 19, 20.
Feels like less than 10 years ago for you.
I know. I know. And I was like, what was I thinking? I wasn't, because I was still in puberty and my brain wasn't fully functioned yet.
Adolescence.
Yeah. So, like, in adolescence, I had, just the right amount of trauma to make me an overachiever. So now everything I do, I'm like, well, I got to like do it the best and I got to like prove myself and I have to do this. So when I'm slacking, when I have a job where I'm not mentally stimulated and I'm not actually doing something where I think I'm making an impact, that's where the struggle is of like, ugh, this is going against what I know, but like it's easy. So like that's great. But like,
so that's why working where you work is challenging for you.
Mm-hmm.
It's not because it's easy. It's just that you're not comfortable with Easy Street.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, so it doesn't matter that there's a Target and an Ulta there.
No.
You have to be working hard in order to be successful.
So yeah, that's actually probably the biggest dissonance in my life right now. It's like,
can you keep meditating on the fact that you don't need to work that hard on this?
Yeah, I'm working on it.
Work harder.
I'm working harder. I'm working as hard as I possibly can to not work hard. Yeah.
I didn't mean to cut you off. That was really funny. Working harder, not to work hard. Does that mean I had too much trauma?
Yeah, I think so.
Mm-hmm. I'm a little trauma heavy.
Yep. Too much trauma.
That I just really, and I believe that, like just 2 days ago, I'm like, look how pretty this makeup looks. Well, that makes you look old. And if that's the look you're going for, then you nailed it.
You're like, ugh.
And then her response was, well, I guess you're going to be mad at me for another month. Yeah, you're right. So at least
you're right.
We know how this works. You say something shitty and then you get a timeout for a month. And then I'll talk to you when you think I've forgotten.
Right. With a fresh face, no makeup.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What did you say earlier about like us having like we're two different people?
Oh, that there's 16 different personality types.
But okay.
But there's actually probably more like 32 or like whatever a multiple of 16 is after that.
Why did you say
48. There's like so many different there's so many different types of us. Like my secret self when I'm home by myself is a different person than so fired self versus a work self. So we have so many different personalities. It's hard to decide like what are your values and who are you actually with all the information coming in. And it might change depending on the situation or like where you are. So it's so hard to constantly be analyzing like, is this right for me? Because so fired podcasting me is like, yeah, you shouldn't work very hard at all outside of this. Chiropractor me is like, you have to work really hard. So it's a very complicated, constant battle. Man, if I didn't think my eating disorder took up so much room in my head, like this is really a whole other level.
Oh,
that's all I got.
Don't stop now.
Okay.
You're on a roll.
Okay, so make sure to share this episode with your besties and follow us and subscribe on YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram, and subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. Bye.
Bye.
Disclaimer. This podcast is for entertainment purposes only. The stories and statements expressed herein are experiences and opinions. They may not represent the views of the production studio or the hosts. If you disagree with our content, that's okay. No podcast is perfect for everyone.